Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is Undead, back again for the 13th day of my 30 Days of Battlefront challenge series, where every single day is a new topic, and today's topic is all about my least favorite map in the game. And in per usual fashion, I went ahead and narrowed this down to my 3 least favorite maps instead of just 1. So let's go ahead and jump into that. My third least favorite map in the game is got to be Graveyard of Giants on Jakku. Now, I know what you might be thinking, and let me go ahead and clarify something really quick. I don't necessarily think Jakku is a bad map. But if I, for example, had to choose between playing any other maps in the game, it definitely would not be up high in my list. I'd much rather play a lot of the Hoth maps and Endor or Solus or anything else besides Jakku, but I don't necessarily mind it, when I do land on that map in the rotation. Moving on to number 2, we have Survivors of Endor, and for this map, it's tough. It's really tough. The map visually and aesthetically look gorgeous, and I think it's definitely one of the standout maps as far as visual design. It looks so cool, and to see kind of Endor kind of just completely laid out and burnt and on fire after the destruction of the Death Star 2 looks extremely cool. But as far as a gameplay standpoint, I've had so many games where it's felt very one-sided in the fact that, for example, on Supremacy, the Supremacy capture point, the very first one when you first start the game, I feel like is a little Imperial-sided because the Rebels have to turn a very sharp corner on the map to get to the point. And what happens, most of the time I play on this map is it always gets choke pointed, and the Imperials can pretty much take the first Supremacy point and it just snowballs on from there because the Rebels just can't get around this one choke point. And of course there's an argument they can go around the far side towards the cave area, but then if you do that, you're just so out of position and you're so far away from the objective, it kind of defeats the purpose. So overall, I think as far as visually, the map's stunning, but as far as playing it in game modes like Supremacy, I do feel like it's a little one-sided. And Walker Assault, it's definitely not as prevalent just because there's no set amount of there's no set objective point they have to capture. It's more sequential and linear, so that kind of solves that problem. But as far as Supremacy, definitely not my favorite map by any stretch of the imagination to play on. And finally, coming in at number 1, I think some of you guys will probably agree with me with my least favorite map in the game, which has got to be, hands down, Twilight on Hoth, man. I don't know what it is about this map, but for starters, whether it be Supremacy or Walker Assault, the 2 game modes that you can play on it, or Turning Point, if you play Turning Point, I just don't really feel like it's that much or that very interesting to play on. But even more importantly, which is the reason why it really is number 1 on my list, is I have so many weird hitbox detections in the map that you can try to run up the side of this little hill or cliff or whatever you want to call it, and you'll run to these invisible rock hitboxes which will prevent you from going up this side that you're trying to flank, or all these places you'll be running and then you'll just be stopped by an invisible wall. It's really weird. And I think they definitely should have spent a little bit more time kind of polishing that aspect of the map before finally releasing it, because it was one of those maps that we got for free, which I'm definitely so thankful for, and I think it's amazing that they released the map for free. Thank you guys, that's exactly what the community is asking for. But, there's just a lot of this stuff in the caves. There's so many just really hidden areas that you run into and bump into. And like I said, going back to the fact that it's not really that much, it's not very interesting to play on. I agree that the caves are very neat, and there's nothing in the game that kind of looks quite like those, especially with the red flares in the nighttime of Walker Assault. It just looks really, really stunning, especially with all the reflections going on. Visually, it looks really cool. I don't think that kind of boils down to any of the maps, really, that are on my least favorite. I don't think any of the maps in the game look bad, per se. But as far as gameplay and playing them, firsthand and kind of the fun factor, I think that's kind of what played more into the decision for these maps and why they're on this list. But anyway, guys, that about does it for this video. Nice, short, and sweet, but I'd love to hear your feedback. What is your least favorite map in the game, and which one can you not stand to play on in any game mode? Hope you all enjoyed the video, and as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.